Shalom. This week's Sedra is Sedrat Vayeshev. In our Sedra, the tragic and frustrating episode of Potiphar's wife and her accusation of Yosef of raping her is read. As we read in this week's Sedra, Yosef's master's wife lifted up her eyes to Yosef, and she said, "Lie down with me." But he refused, and he said to his master's wife, "My master knows nothing about anything that goes on in the house, and he has given all into my hand. In this house there is no one greater than I, and he has not withheld anything from me except for you, as you are his wife. Now how can I commit this great evil and sin against God?" And it came about when she spoke to Yosef day in and day out, trying to seduce him, and did not obey her to lie beside her. The Ramban quotes the Ibn Ezra, who said that Yosef wouldn't allow himself to talk or even to lie down with Potiphar's wife. Yosef could have spared himself a great deal of trouble had he simply acquiesced somewhat and laid down with Potiphar's wife. Why didn't Yosef simply lie down with her? Maimonides wrote extensively about the safeguards set around sexual infractions. Whoever shares physical intimacy with one of the forbidden relations without actually becoming involved in sexual relations, or embraces and kisses one of them out of desire and derives pleasure from the physical contact, should be lashed accordingly to Torah law. A person who engages in any of the above-mentioned practices is considered likely to engage in forbidden sexual relations. It is forbidden for a person to make motions with his hands or feet or wink with his eyes to one of the forbidden relations, to share perfume with her or to act frivolously with her. It is even forbidden to smell her perfume or gaze at her beauty. A person who performs any of these actions intentionally should be given lashes for rebellious conduct. The Rambam continued, "It is forbidden to enter into privacy with any of the women forbidden to him, even if she is elderly or a young girl, for this leads to forbidden relations. The only exceptions are a woman and her son, a father and his daughter." Elsewhere he wrote, "The Jewish court is obligated to appoint officers who will circulate among the people on the festivals and check the gardens, orchards, and riverbanks to see the men and women do not gather there to eat and drink, lest they conduct themselves immodestly and come to sin. Similarly, they must warn the people that men and women should not mix at festive gatherings and homes, nor should they overindulge in wine, lest they be led to sin." Maimonides summed up his approach by writing, "There is nothing in the entire Torah that is more difficult for the majority of people to separate themselves from than their sexual misconduct and forbidden relationships. Our sages said, when the laws were commanded regarding forbidden sexual relations, they wept and accepted these mitzvos with complaint. There are no shortage of safeguards set up around the forbidden sexual sins, for there is no shortage of desire to violate the sexual sins. As strong as the desire for sexual sins are, the law must be just as strong so as to prevent the sins. Yosef understood that sexual sins are a slippery slope, and preventing them meant setting up the strongest of boundaries. It's a lesson for us all. Shabbat Shalom.